Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. So the Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the Cincinnati Bengals 34-12. And what more can you ask for? A victory is a victory. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. All I wanted for today, not only a victory, but I wanted Jamar Chase to be shut down. If we came into this game and let's just say hypothetically we lost this game. I don't care how we lost it, as long as Jamar Chase did not beat us and he did not have any impact on the game whatsoever today for the Cincinnati Bengals. So I have to give Coach Tomlin and the coaching staff an A plus. We all know what happened the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers played the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase absolutely ate the Pittsburgh Steelers defense alive. So did Brown, the running back. But today was much different. And this is why I always go back to, you know, sometimes I want to be critical of Coach Tomlin for whatever goes on in a game, but we play this team. We played the Bengals not even 3 weeks ago. We absolutely get manhandled. And today we come out and we destroy them. And do I think we're a better team than the Cincinnati Bengals? Of course, I think we're a better team than the Bengals. I think that's clearly obvious. But why can the Pittsburgh Steelers never play with consistency? We should have beaten the Bengals twice this year. Now, going back to what I'm saying, is that Coach Tomlin's fault? No, I don't think it's Coach Tomlin's fault. I think sometimes the players just show up and they're not in the mood to play and they just say, you know what, F it. I'm not going to give my best effort today. For whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. I really have to question sometimes what is actually going on with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think it's a number of factors. It's not just the Steelers. I think the league in general, there's a lot of bad football being played. And you can thank Roger Goodell for that. You can thank him for getting rid of two-a-day practices. You can thank him for all the ridiculous non-contact rules. And while we're getting on that subject, the TJ Watt incident today, where he sacks Joe Flacco and it's a big play and they throw the flag, but then the Bengals stall on the drive. Let's just say hypothetically the Pittsburgh Steelers lose that game because of that ridiculous call. The quarterback should be allowed to get hit. It's called football. This isn't a national pussy league. If you want to play tennis, if you want to play soccer, if you want to play badminton, go play those sports. Roger Goodell has single-handedly destroyed the NFL, whether it's the ridiculous penalties, if you're a defensive back, you can't hit anybody, the quarterback hits, even the Cincinnati Bengals, I don't want to see them win by any stretch of the imagination. But some of the roughing calls that they got called against them on Aaron Rodgers were absolutely ridiculous. It's destroying the game. Roger Goodell and his rules are absolutely destroying the National Football League. If you want to debate me on this, fine. You're going to sound like I don't want to hear that the game is safer. I don't want to hear about Roger Goodell is all about player safety. If that were true, and it's not true, we wouldn't have Thursday night football. It's all about perception of the league. That's all it's about. It's about the money because no amount of money is ever good enough for Roger Goodell. He doesn't care about the product anymore on the field. And you can see that. There's so many sorry ass teams in the NFL. Nobody tackles well anymore. Nobody can hit a quarterback. When is the last time you've seen a safety in the NFL absolutely light a receiver up? Oh, no, that's against the rules now. So now the National Football League, hey, Roger, this is a man's game played by men. And the more violent the game is, the more enjoyable it is for the fans. It's supposed to be a physical, violent game. That's why we tune in. Roger Goodell is a politician. He's trying to make the NFL something that it's not. And he's absolutely destroying the game. And I want to give Mike Tomlin and the Steelers credit for another thing. Remember this big factor. Every team in the National Football League got to vote if Roger Goodell would have full control of the NFL. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are the only team in the league to vote no because they know that putting all the power in one man's hands could lead to garbage like this. And now we're seeing the consequences of that. And if you don't think that the players at Coach Tomlin had a conversation about how they should vote, you're fooling yourself. So I got to give Coach Tomlin credit for that also. Roger Goodell, this is called football. This isn't, you want to turn everything into everything that it's not. whether it's who you pick to perform at the halftime show, Bad Bunny, a man in a dress, trying to feminizing everybody. He's also trying to feminize the National Football League by non-contact, by non-hitting. Troy Polamalu said it best. Troy Polamalu is very soft-spoken. He doesn't like to get involved. He doesn't like to say anything. He said, Roger Goodell has turned this to the National Pussy League. What did James Harrison say? James Harrison put it perfectly. If Roger Goodell was on fire, I wouldn't piss to put the man out. And that's exactly how I feel about Roger Goodell. So let's get into the wonderful game that the Pittsburgh Steelers won today. Aaron Rodgers gets knocked out of the game. I don't know if it's an elbow injury, a shoulder injury. He was playing decent. He was playing well. Mason Rudolph came into the game and he finished 12 for 16, 127 yards and a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, he didn't look as bad as he looked the week before, but he played decent football up until the time that he got hurt. It's going to be an interesting thing. What goes on here? Is Mason Rudolph eventually going to be the starter? If I had a bet on it, I'd say no, unless Aaron Rodgers is hurt. We all seen the way that Coach Tomlin operates, and that's not usually the way that he operates. Benching a guy for poor play, that's just the way Tomlin rolls, and that's his decision. So total team offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers was through the air was 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Offensive line played well. They only gave up 1 sack. Here's a little concerning, though. Up until that point, when Aaron Rodgers was in the football game, the Bengals didn't have Trey Hendrickson or Stewart, their 2 starting defensive ends or rush outside linebackers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers couldn't do anything on offense up until they really weren't rolling well. And it's a little concerning, honestly. Running the ball today, Jalen Warren had 10 carries for 62 yards. I mean, that's a great average yards per rush. But once again, Jalen Warren doesn't carry the football enough. Kenneth Gainwell had 9 carries, 24 yards. Caleb Johnson, 5 for 15. We had no rushing touchdowns, but the Pittsburgh Steelers did go over 100 yards rushing, and I'll take that any day of the week. Receiving for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenneth Gainwell had a great day, the running back. 7 receptions, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. He absolutely ate the Bengals alive. Darnell, Big Country, Washington, 4 for 57. DK Metcalf was 5 for 49. None of the other offensive weapons for the Pittsburgh Steelers receiving the ball did much damage, but it was a decent day overall through the air. Defensive side of the ball, we only sacked the quarterback once today, and once again, it was Nick Herbig. Nick Herbig needs to be the starter over Alex Highsmith. Alex Highsmith needs to be the reliever. TJ Watt was chipped in, but he had pressure all day. He was getting to the quarterback. The ridiculous penalty. It was absolute bullshit. Thank God it didn't change the course of the game and take a victory away from the Pittsburgh Steelers, or I would have completely lost my mind. And trust me, on the play, when I seen the flag, I did completely lose my mind because it's absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Roger, do us all a favor. Go be the commissioner of tennis. Get effing lost already. I can't stand you. I can't stand what you turn the NFL into. You absolutely make me sick. TJ Watt only had 1 tackle on the day. He's got to pick up his production. Derek Harmon also only 1 tackle on the day. Patrick Queen was a tackling machine, 10 total, 5 solo. Brandon Eccles was next, 7 total, 3 solo. Huge play by Kyle Duggar, gets the pick 6. It was awesome. Finally, a pick 6 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I feel it's like it's been decades since I seen one, since Troy Polamalu picked off Joe Flacco in the AFC Championship game to send the Steelers to the Super Bowl. It just feels like it's been a very long time. I love seeing that from Kyle Duggar. But prior to that, there were some interceptions dropped. One was dropped by Kyle Duggar. I think another one was dropped by, might have been Jalen Ramsey or Joey Porter Jr. The bottom line is this. When an interception gets thrown right to you, you need to catch the football. You can't. Kyle Duggar should have had 2 interceptions today. And yes, I am going to pinpoint little tiny things because you can't afford to not make those plays. That's the difference between being a great team and a good team. Anytime a defensive back gets a ball thrown right to them, you need to catch it for the interception. Enough is enough already. Let's just talk about the Cincinnati Bengals for a minute. Jamar Chase, 3 receptions, 30 yards. I think Coach Tomlin, Coach Austin did a great job of shutting down Jamar Chase. I absolutely love it. I love that Jamar Chase didn't do anything today. We all saw Jalen Ramsey get ejected for punching Jamar Chase after the play. Total bonehead move by Jalen Ramsey. You better have better, you have to have better composure and discipline than that. There's always the next play. even if you want to hit him where they call targeting, which is a ridiculous penalty to begin with, and you just take a 15-yard penalty, at least you're still in the football game. When you're just standing around the pile and you throw a punch and you get an ejected, and now you're no longer in the game, and a 15-yard penalty on top of it, you hurt your team by not being in the game. The penalty. What if the Steelers lost the game today because of Jalen Ramsey? Absolutely dumb penalty. There's not even a play going on, and you're standing there, and Jamar Chase is mouthing off to you, and you have no self control whatsoever, and you punch him in the face. Just a dumb play by Jalen Ramsey, and he needs to knock it off. There's always the next play to be physical on. Get people between the lines. Hammer them between the lines. Fine, they throw a penalty. No big deal. You're still in the game. You're not ejected from the game. And what really pisses off offensive players, you don't need to go high. Offensive players would rather get hit up high. Go low. Do what Roger Goodell wants you to do. Hit him in the knees. Offensive players hate that because they might tear an ACL. Do what the garbage human being Roger Goodell wants you to do. Go low, Jalen Ramsey. Wait till he catches a pass, Jamar Chase. Instead of going head hunting, hit him right in the knees. Give Roger Goodell exactly what he wants, and Jamar Chase could be on the bench for a while. Don't play into their stupid games. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they also kept Chase Brown in check a little bit, 18 carries, 99 yards. They still gave up 105 yards rushing, but this was much better from the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers played the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm absolutely going to take it. The Steelers dominated today, 34-12, and we should have dominated them the last time. Look, we're exactly where we want to be right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 6-4. We have a great chance to go to the playoffs. We have a great chance to get our first playoff win in a long time. I'm happy about today's victory. We got to give Coach Tomlin an A+ and Coach Austin an A+ for coming up with an excellent game plan to keep Jamar Chase in check. And that was the most important part of this football game, was taking Jamar Chase away from Joe Flacco. And it worked today, and we saw that through the results. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.